My name is Analo Kanga. I am a musician. I am a saxophonist. Yes, I think I'd call myself a professional saxophonist. I am a singer-songwriter. I arrange and compose music, the music that I perform and present, and just a creative human. I've always gravitated towards music and singing since I was really young. Even like Sunday school and all that, singing and music was very exciting for me, and I was always very much interested. But I only started learning music, I'd say, formally, in the sense of theory and such things when I went to high school. So I think now when I got to high school and I started understanding the do-re-mis and all those kind of things, is now when I felt like, yeah, I think this is something that I'd like to do long term. And like, I feel like music theory is up to date, the most interesting thing I've ever learned. And even when the seasons are low or I'm feeling sort of down, theory, I think it's so interesting. Like, music theory is very interesting. Almost like science. Can I also sing? Well, what I can start by saying is that all musicians and all artists can sing, simply because they can hold a note, you know? Like, huwezi imba off key. I mean, so I think all musicians can sing because they can hold a note. I guess maybe the question is the quality of the sound that they are producing. But even before I was playing sax, I was singing, because I only picked up sax when I was in Form 3. But I was singing in Form 1, I was singing in primary school. Also, my music teacher in high school is a phenomenal singer. So she really taught us how to sing well. When I took up the saxophone in Form 3, it was because I was a music student, so I wanted to have an instrument to play for KCSE. So that was like my main purpose. And at the time now they were going together. But I guess after I finished high school, I really felt the need to develop my saxophone playing, because I really wanted to be a saxophonist. So I took a short break from singing to just focus on honing my craft. And then now I can say that they coexist and they complement each other. And even as I write songs and music, I think about how they can sit together as opposed to existing independently. So in my the music that I already have out, I've been doing BGVs for myself, but now I just want I'd sing lead, and then sax can accompany. Well, I think I took the risky route, since I already knew how to sing. Singing ingekuwa my best bet at getting best marks, but saa zingine itabidi umejichallenge, you know. But I guess this high school I went was very musical, so we're exposed to different instruments, and there are other people in school who are already playing. So yeah, I felt like sax was very interesting, and I'm so glad I picked it. Yeah. I'm very grateful that I already was a music student, so mambo ya just knowing the keys, notes was not Greek for me. However, I think horns are in my personal opinion, I feel like you need at least 3 years to learn a horn, simply because it's way much more complex than your fingering or how you play the note placement. It takes a lot for you to develop your embouchure, your tonal quality, to have a sort of a steady sound, to have depth and color and all those things. So I think even now, when I was starting, it was difficult. Then I had a period where I felt like, yeah, I'm really getting the groove. Now I feel like it's difficult, because the more you learn, the more I guess you realize what you don't know. Yeah, so I'd say right now, the season I'm in, I think it's technical, but it's beautiful and it's doable and it's music. People do it all the time, literally. Although I've been playing for 7 years now, so I don't think that's a long time. And there's also been a lot of intentionality into me playing. So not yet, I haven't yet fallen out of love.
Have you ever been strong? I mean biceps, triceps, all. Get your mind is
think I've had a very vanilla sort of upbringing, in the sense that, yeah, my life has been very organized, if I may say that, thanks to my parents. I'm very grateful for them. So I went to primary school, I went to Makini school, shule kubwa. That's up to date, like even from my high school and uni experience. I think that's the one school that really shaped me and like the person that I am. Then I finished class 8. High school, I went to 2 schools. The first one, I was there for literally 1 month. So I went to the school that I was called for after class 8, yeah. The vibes are off. Hata sitasema ilikuwa shule gani, lakini nilikuwa for 1 month and I just told my dad I can't. I plead the 5th, but I have friends from that school. Yeah. So like from end of Form 1 first term up to the end of Form 4, now I was at Precious Blood Secondary School Riruta. Kotu hapa Kawangware, a very musical school, and that's where I did my high school. Yeah, and that's also where like I fell in love with music, mambo ya Kenya music festivals. That was fantastic. Like even the people I play with up to today, the people who used to play with at Kenya music festivals, tukiwa na uniform, kama tumechapa, you know, and you look at how much we've grown, and it's like, enyewe Mungu apewe sifa zake, because ni God, like tumetoka mbali. Then for university, I went to unajua kusema you already know which school it is. I went to but for people who don't know what is, I went to University of Nairobi, Parklands campus, law school. But really, yeah, we overstayed. Both my parents so I come from a really small family, just mom, dad, 1 sibling. So we're just 4 of us, the quintessential nuclear family, you know? So I have my parents, who I'm so grateful for, and a sister who's older than me by 2 years. So yeah, just the 4 of us. I think for my parents, they're very academic oriented. Hence, I guess, my life up to this point, you know, and that of my sister as well. They really, truly believe in school and being serious in school. Na hakuna mchezo ndani ya kazi. You know, like if you are failing, you will explain why. But they are really also been extremely supportive. Yeah, I'd say they've done their best. You know, there are points where like usanii, it's generally like being a musician and being an artist, it's unconventional, you know? And I guess the point of art is to disrupt the order of society. So for people who are very book-oriented and following the rules, that obviously doesn't sit well with them, but they really try. So I'd give them that, yeah, they really try. My dad sings a bit. My sister is an excellent singer as well. She's very musical. She doesn't even do it on the side, but she used to do it a lot, even like in high school. Yeah, she's very talented musically. And I guess ku practice kwa nyumba, saxophone, kelele, you know? And I feel like the first years when I was starting, walikuwa na complaints. Like, and you know also that time you're playing extremely badly. Like, unasumbua for real. Yeah, so at that time they used to complain, but now they're just like, she's going to practice anyway. Nani wetu, so. I think, well, I was really actually very book-oriented, which really changed in high school. But yeah, I think, yeah, nilikuwa ndani ya masomo, like nilikuwa choppy all those things, but I still participated in music festivals in primary school. So I did choral more than even singing. I think we did just a bit. Yeah, choral and also solos. So I did solos. At the time, I used to know a bit of French. I can't speak French to save my life. And it really went. Yeah, so I did a lot of choral, and I think that was the most like performative aspect of like my childhood and my primary time. Also in like Sunday school and VBS on the holidays, tulikuwa tunaimba. so much. So that's what I remember a lot. I was also like, as in nilikuwa tu, I was a really like ideal child, teacher's pet. Nikiwa primary school. Nilikuwa teacher's pet. I'm an innately confident person. However, I think I'm human as well. And I guess a big part about being an artist and just a creative is that most of us are really sensitive. So like the slightest mean word can really put you off, and I have been a victim of low self-esteem, and I think that's something that maybe is not obvious because we perform on stage and it's so flashy. And yeah, I've really had points of low confidence, and I can say with surety that not being confident is so costly. It's such a waste of time. Like literally you'd rather fake it till you make it, because there's so many opportunities that go, even relationships suffer when we're not like confident in ourselves. So at this point in my life, I'd say it's very important for me to exercise confidence that can propel me to do the things that I want to do. You really don't have to be the best, and it's even more important to be a good person. Like I think it's so amazing how much people are not willing to work with people who are just not nice. Like, why are you not nice? Life is hard for everybody. You know, like kila mtu ana struggle, just like chorea. So I think character is way much more important. There's a quote I saw the other day that it was saying how people are hired for what they can do, and they are fired for who they are. So I guess, yeah, life hack ni just fight your demons. Be very honest, in as much as I was the teacher's pet in primary school, I didn't really have a sense of self, which is normal. Like children, we are born with a blank slate, you know, na hatuna idea, na hatuna like, yeah, we just don't know, the innocence of a child. So I guess it's easy when you're young to be told, this is who you are and this is how you look like. And I guess when you start becoming a teenager and sort of questioning things, it's easier to meet yourself. So I guess also the high school I went to was very academic heavy. You know, like as in chemistry muhimu, math muhimu, muziki, sports, kidogo. Hizo ni vitu za kando, vitu za after classes. But no, that's not how I felt about it. And even like my closest friend from high school, her name is Maria. I wouldn't say that we were problematic, but we just felt a very intense calling onto music, and because of that, you're going to rub some people the wrong way. You know, even the friends who love you, they're like, guy, na unashindanga music festival, utasoma sangapi. But I truly believe like I wouldn't have survived high school if I wasn't deeply into music. Yeah, I think it's what up to today has really kept me alive. Yeah. Mimi kwanza hapo kwa chemistry, I really hope even my chemistry teacher has forgotten me, because nilikuwa nauma nje. Like if chemistry is the only thing I had to do on this planet, oh my God. I definitely knew I was creative before I was musical, because I think even like, because creativity is wide and it's vast and it's mostly just seeking out the beauty and the mundane. And in primary school, I know that I was really good at composition and coming up with like fake stories. And I used to wonder like why people struggle to write 2 pages, 3 pages, just, we can write storybook. And I remember when there's a time my teacher was like, you need to like hone down on the amount of stuff that you're writing and maybe like focus more on the vocabulary and everything because you have enough ideas. So I didn't feel like she said it with a bad intent, but it was clearly that I was very much creative. Yeah, but I think playing saxophone, because now when I went to high school and I went to a very musical school where everyone can sing, it's easy to get lost in the waves of everyone can do it anyway. And then when you go out and meet other people, they're like, you guys really know how to sing. And so you don't really appreciate yourself. But I remember when I was doing KCSE, now music practical, where you go and you do a performance, you read the music and then you play and everything. And now the other music students, now when I was done, they were like, you played so well, and I hadn't had that before. And then I realized like maybe I actually do know how to, like I'm a very musical person, and at that time I wasn't confident because I just started and I was just focusing on exam. And my music teacher also said very early into my playing, maybe like after a year, she was like, you know, you have a really amazing tone. And this is somebody who has done music their entire life, so it was very validating. Honestly, the whole firstborn, lastborn concept is a social construct, and there are stereotypes. However, the fact that me and my sister are not wide apart in terms of age, it's a really small age gap, so we're really just friends and pals. However, I will not claim firstborn. I'm just the lastborn by fact. I'm still quite young and early in my career. For me, mentorship is just being a mentee and not a mentor per se. But I feel like mentorship in music and in art is difficult because there are people who mean well, but you need to be careful that they don't sort of box you into their versions of you and what they feel like your potential is. So in as much as you're getting mentorship, you really need to have like a strong sense of self. And yeah, you need to be grounded, I think, before you search mentorship, because I think people also rush into mentorship. Then now they have a testimony 15 years later, how, you know, I met this and this. And you're also, because usanii is not as lucrative, or let me say as organized structure-wise as a formal employment. So unaweza pelekwa in circles. So I would say mentorship, I have been mentored, although I've kept my distance, where I just admire somebody from afar. And if I want to sort of get insight from them, I'm very like careful with who and what I want from them. So that's what I'd say mentorship. Rebellion, as I said, my parents are very academic oriented, strict, and I know, like, even when they watch this, they'll be like, strict, but they are, which it has its benefits, you know, like the world is not a safe place. So there's that. However, I feel like I'm still battling that right now, and just sort of changing my mindset onto there's no life skill that I have, or education that I have, or music sort of skills that I have that are detrimental to the other. So just thinking about how I can merge the two and appreciate like my whole persona instead of just stepping on one when I am still the one who has put in the effort to become that person. So I think everyone has their good intentions, and I just want to be wise about it. So I think I just need more time to think about it. When I was in high school and primary and a child, I always wanted to be a lawyer. Manifesting, I don't know if I'd use that word, because there was a lot of practical things that have gotten me to here. But I think, yeah, it's something that I think I have aligned my life to and my decisions towards that. But I know after high school, and now when I started like doing music and stuff, I was like, I really like this. And I guess for me the challenge is how I made the decision to be a lawyer when I was a child, and it's a decision that I'm trying to make as an adult. So which one holds more water, you know, which one is more of what I truly want? But yeah, I think at this point it's not an either or, and it doesn't have to be. And I guess the jack of all trades is not a master of one, but it's not a master of all, but better than a master of one, you know? So like, yeah, just more of bringing them together and harmonizing them as opposed to throwing them. The English, but like it has refused. And that's okay. We're not siding with the colonizer. We don't have to know all the English. I'll insist again that I feel like I'm really early in my career. So, however, purpose is really important. Yeah, and meaning success in itself is a moving goalpost. So, utafanya then you'll be like, what next? Or at least you should have that sort of mindset. But I think impact pia, like mziki, like unaweza reach so many people, you know, like ukifanya performance, or when somebody says that your song really met them somewhere, or it has a lot of meaning to them, putting smiles on people's faces, I think that's really important. And yeah, I feel like art and me being an artist is very purposeful and is the best contribution I can make to society. Just get 5 people in the same room, they can debate for hours. Yeah. What makes good music? As an artist, honesty and vulnerability. You can't make a good art if you don't put yourself into it, and that's why it's something that can really also deplete you, because you need to be very honest in making art. But I think something that is honest of your experiences, that resonates to other people, and also intentionality. So for me as a musician and playing an instrument, it really boils down to even my melody writing, like what notes am I choosing, what chord progressions am I choosing, and why. You know, not all notes have the same colors. 2-minute songs are, or rather, you know, the whole craze of writing a song in 2 minutes, it's cool, and that is finesse, and that is a skill that you learn. But there are also artists who take a year to write literally 2-3 songs, and those are the songs that resonate with people. So also knowing why you're doing music, and there's no right or wrong reason to do music. Because I guess we could all have this, you know, we want to be perfect and we all want to be emotional and we do it for the passion. But I guess it's also okay to do it for business and for commercial purposes. Hakuna shida ya kutafuta mkate. That's not wrong. That is absolutely fine. Yeah, and I guess if you're able to be honest with yourself, GMB, like, mi nafanya because of this and this is what I want, you will sleep well at night. Yeah. If there was a manual, then we'd have order. Now, entertainment industry thrives on disorder. The fact that there are industry secrets and the, what are they called, gatekeepers. It thrives for the people who have sort of the keys to the different doors. You get, for the artist, not as much, because most artists huanza muziki kwa sababu wanapenda, and they're probably good at it. But I guess for the people who are like, maybe the corporates, the big guys, the companies, promoters, whatever, they thrive on the fact that it doesn't have order. As an industry, there's no order. Entertainment laws in and of themselves are extremely ambiguous. They just pick a bit of copyright hapa kushtoa watu, contract hapa kusumbua watu na sijui non-liability clauses, and yeah, just the chaos, which is unfortunate. And I guess also because our culture is that music is not as respectable career, we don't even invest enough into building structures and platforms. Tukiingia mambo ya CMOs, tunaweza lia hapa, you know. So is there a manual? I think a friend of mine was telling me yesterday how you can't have private solutions to public problems. So I guess a lot of the issues in music are very structural, policy, government issues. And if they were more orderly, we'd have a music industry that literally the sky is the limit. Could be like, you know, Anglo-centric, Eurocentric, like we really, because we have the art, we have the creatives and everything. Also, kama uko na like finances kuingia, itakuwa easier than starting from the bottom. You know, and na kuna artists wenye like ni wanoma, by the way, but unaweza tell artist mwenye like hana finances na mwenye akunazo, because ni biashara, and at the end of the day, marketing, visibility, just even going to the studio is such a financially heavily thing, and that's why people usually lean on community. You know, I have a friend who's a producer, I have a friend who's an artist, I know a friend who's an engineer. So yeah, that plays a big role. So I'd just say culture, order, money. I started performing live in 2017, and however, I recorded my first single in 2019. And I guess like there are things that, you know, you go big or you go home. You can be an artist but huwezi shinda umeimba ngoma za watu wengine. Si mbaya, huwezi shinda po. Like you need to challenge yourself. It's not even shade, it's more of self-actualization. You know, like, are you really executing your potential? If you say you're an artist, then make art. You know, and it's hard. It's so hard. Like, you know, it's like your baby. Na unarushia watu wengine wataitupa, watu wengine wataislap, watu wengine watasema, oh my God, this is my baby, I love it. So it's really like you really have to. So I think that was me being intentional, recording my first song and just challenging myself to write songs, because even as an instrumentalist, it's very easy to slip into the doing for other people. Yeah, but I didn't want that for myself, because I think I also had like something to say. I mean, playing with and for other people is very nice. It's like kucheza kwa band ni so amazing. Like, you know, it's teamwork pro max. I know football is teamwork, sawa, but playing in a band is really like trusting each other, listening, and playing for other artists is also really helps you grow, because unaona performance style yao, you see how they connect with other people. So me, even as I was and still do play for other artists, it's a learning curve for me. But yeah, at the end of the day, pia mimi niko na instrument yangu kwa nyumba. Mungu amenibariki na sauti. Might as well try. Yeah. Well, obviously one at a time, because you blow. So like if your mouth is in your instrument, it just is. However, playing a horn, whether it's a saxophone or a trumpet or a trombone, it's singing. Yeah, it's singing in itself, because you need to put air into it, you know. The saxophone is dead until you put air into it, then it comes alive and it removes notes. So if you think about it like that, then we are always singing. And the better you get at singing through your horn, the better of a musician you become. But yeah, you can just do, I guess, who are like the best people who play horns and sing as well? The late Louis Armstrong, the late Hugh Masekela. Yeah, like you can do both. To be that dark, I mean, your soul is a growing piece of art. You're just that smart. Push the wheels of your heavy cut, eh? I mean, every kind word and word of affirmation is very big support. I'd say my sister is like a really good support system for me. My dad as well. My music teacher from high school, yeah, her name is Madam Kinywa. She like really, yeah, she's basically the reason why I know everything that I know. Her and my other music teacher called Mr. Kimtai. So Madam Kinywa and Mr. Kimtai are two people who have made me who I am today. Our choral instructor for choir, his name was Mr. Muyale as well, for music festivals. There is Mr. Tumbo, who also taught us so much music, and so many friends as well. I'd say my band members at the moment who I play with, my music director, his name is Brian Gala, he plays guitar. That's a friend of mine who has really pushed me, and all like the people I play with have really supported me. And right now, I feel like everyone who listens to my music, everyone who like intentionally engages with the work that I do is very essential support, because if for example, I prepare for a show and nobody comes, it will be absolutely pointless. My fans and friends. Yeah, I think I have really good friends. Yeah, both I think by chance as well, like just people who God has put in my life who are just genuine individuals in and of themselves, and they radiate so much light. And also the community that I've also tried to curate for myself. Niko na mabeshte wengi, wasanii, producers, engineers, like well, obviously character yako ina exist independent of your personality, because those are your values and stuff like that. But my personality, I think I'm an extrovert. Like, yeah, I think I'm just an extrovert. Although you also mature na unalearn kuna times unafaa kunyamaza the hard way. Yeah. So I think I'm an extrovert. I really like people, and if I don't see people for like 2 or 3 days, I start asking, what is the point of this life? And life starts becoming great for me. So I really thrive off of people. So I'd say I'm an extrovert. Who also knows when it's time to shut up. I get so much stress because I really like hugging all the people. And you know, like people, not everybody likes hugs and being touched. Some people like me, you know, strong. But yeah, just like life is really hard. So we could all benefit from hugs and from, you know, just being approachable to one another. And I guess not being approachable is really showing more turbulence inside of you than maybe that which you're experiencing in life, which is okay, but unafaa kujua pia. Yeah. Just put it out there that wasanii kufanya gigs na kulipwa is not always in the same conversation. Wow, you could do, even I get shivers just thinking about it. Like, some people are actually not good. Wanatumia wasanii vibaya, and sadly, that's also something that you have to learn the hard way. Like, and I think the good thing about my generation and my peers, we usually have these conversations of, huyu analipanga wasanii ama alipi, na kama unajulikana ulipi, I promise you. And I feel like for some gatekeepers, that has really disrupted them, the fact that we have decided to form community for ourselves. We've decided to hold each other's back. And okay, sawa, maybe when you Beyonce wa Kenya, but kama hulipangi, I'm sorry, utapata mtu. And we know each other and we are friends. So I'd say that's one thing. Another bad experience, now a specific one, I'd say there's a time I did a regular gig, so 4 hours, 6 to 10. I was playing alone just with your flash disc, then you put your backing tracks on a chaser. And then halfway, towards the end of the second half, I was very tired. Like kupuliza hii kitu for almost 4 hours, you get like headed, like unachoka sana. Yeah, there's a man who came up to me and then he was just like, I don't really like the way you are playing. And I'm like, first of all, I was just like, and he was just a customer. So I think even when he said it, he was, I think he was sober. But even like when he said it, I was so flabbergasted. I didn't process it for like 3 weeks. Ile like umesikia, but in through here, out through here. To make matters worse, that whole gig paid me after 4 months. So it was just like, I really shouldn't have done that, but I guess you also just accept people where they are. My best experience, I've had really good experiences. Yeah, I've had really good experiences. Definitely writing music in studio and producing music, and you know, just working with really talented individuals is extremely exciting. Like, even when you hear these songs artists release and then guys are going crazy about them, I promise you, if you're in studio when they're layering the vocals and the samples, that is where the joy is. There's so much joy in putting in a sample or layering vocals, or even like processing mixing, and then you're bringing out different colors in the song. That is very fun.